Hello everyone, I'm bringing you a Velocicoaster review today. This is Chris from Midwest Coaster Fans. This is going to be a very thorough review. This coaster is located at Universal Islands of Adventure in Orlando, Florida. This was added in 2021 to the Jurassic Park area of the park. This is manufactured by Intamin, and we'll talk about more of the stats and things like that as we go further in this video. Before we continue with this video, please be sure to hit that like button and bell notification button and subscribe button if you've not subscribed to our channel. Subscribing and liking this video allows us to push out more content and allows more people to be able to see videos like this in the future from Midwest Coaster Fans. And as requested from you, I have released the review of Velocicoaster before Zip and Pippin. So let's go ahead and go with the review here. Now I have gotten 6 rides on this coaster, 2 during pass holder preview, and then I've got 4 more over the month afterwards. Now I live close to this coaster, so I do go to Universal Studios and I am able to frequent it, and it is my #1 coaster as of right now. It is ahead of Maverick and ahead of Steel Vengeance for me. Now this is my personal review of the coaster, and obviously your top rankings of any coasters are going to be different than mine, so don't take it personally or anything like that. This is mainly to just talk about the ride experiences that I had and what to expect when you're visiting this. So if you only get 1 or 2 rides on it, I want to make sure that your experience is the best out there. So please listen very thoroughly to this review because it's going to have a lot of good information in it. Now the ride queue, I recommend going into the regular line if you can. Don't go to a single rider because single rider is actually longer than the regular line on this. And you're going to have Blue, Delta, Echo, and Charlie. That's the statue that it is, and you have the Velocicoaster top hat over there. As you go further through the ride queue, you're going to see a lot of different Easter eggs. Now, if you have not watched Jurassic World or Jurassic Park, you're going to miss a lot of these Easter eggs because you're not going to understand what you're looking at. So I definitely highly recommend watching those movies before actually getting on this coaster so you could experience and actually enjoy this coaster more. Now, looking at this area over here, this is the second launch, and you're going to have like a simulate. So you're going to see the actual coaster go through there, and then you're going to see the actual Raptors chase after the coaster, and you'll see more of that here in a bit. And then Dr. Wu is going to talk about what's experienced on the coaster and how they created Raptors and what Raptors are in the actual Jurassic Park universe before you see the Easter eggs hidden in there. And you're going to see a couple different Easter eggs. I'll let you see them from the first movie. You'll see that's the first Easter egg, and then up top that's the second Easter egg. And there's more Easter eggs hidden throughout there because obviously you have Jurassic Park. You had 3 movies with that, and then you had Jurassic World, 2 movies with that. Now this takes place before the events of Jurassic World happened, so this is actually a ride that takes place before the disaster on Jurassic World. You do have a locker system, so this video right here explains how the locker system works. And this is like an overall view of the actual coaster. And then you see the animatronics here. So you have 2 Raptors that are in here, and then 2 others that have escaped and are out chasing after the coaster. So these are the 2 that are locked up. Now these are very, very realistic animatronics. And then as you see right here, you're going to see where you're going to board at for your lockers, and you're going to place all your loose articles in there. They are free lockers. After this point, after putting your stuff in the lockers, you are not going to have your phone after that. That's why I don't have the rest of the ride queue. And then you're going to pick them up in the lockers, and then you're going to exit out at this point. This is going to take you to the picture area where you can collect your pictures, and into the gift shop, which is at the bottom of the Discovery Center. But let's go ahead and enjoy the on-ride POV, and then I'll talk about the on-ride experiences right after that. So I hope that you enjoyed that on-ride POV from Universal Studios Orlando. It kind of showed a lot of the things I'm going to be talking about here for the on-ride experience. You can see that the area is heavily themed, like I stated before. You're going to see the ride times. So on the very right, you're going to see if the single rider line's open. It'll tell you if it's open or closed. I do not recommend the single rider line because sometimes it will not move as fast as a regular line, and you'll be actually stuck in line longer. It does look shorter, but it in return is not shorter. And then you have the handicap or ADA access area in the middle, and maybe in the future, the express pass area. And then on the left is the entrance to the normal queue line. Most of it takes place outside, and then you have the inside portion, as I showed you earlier, that takes you through a lot of the different hidden things from the movies and stuff like that. That's just really cool. And then as you're waiting in line on the top of the platform after placing your stuff in the lockers. Now, they do have metal detectors, so they're going to know if you have something in your pocket. So make sure you take everything out of your pocket and place it into the lockers. They're free lockers. And then you're going to go through the metal detectors up the stairs, and you're going to see a pre-show that's going to have Chris Pratt's character and the other female from the movie. And they're going to talk about the ride experience and why they developed the ride and stuff like that. Then you're going to board the actual train. Sometimes they'll let you decide on the row. So if you ask them for a specific row, sometimes they'll say yes, and sometimes they might not say that they'll be allowed to. It really depends on what time it is and how they're doing the operations that day. You're going to board the train. Now, the trains have a total of 12 rows, sit 2 across. They're Intamin Blitz trains, so the seats are actually very comfortable. It's a lap bar restraint system. And then from there, you're going to board. They're going to check your restraints, and then off you're going to go. And then you're going to sit in a little area and wait for the launch. So you're going to go forward, and then it's going to take you backwards. And then you're going to see the Raptors on the left and the right. And those Raptors on the left and right are going to start making sounds and going. And then you're going to blast. So it's going to simulate like they're chasing after you. Then you're going to blast from 0 to 50 miles per hour. You're going to hit an Immelman, and you're going to hit a dive loop. You're going to hit a series of left turns and a couple of right turns. Now, the first part is not as intense as the second part, but it's still a lot of fun. You have a lot of pops of air time, mainly floater, a couple of pops of ejector, depending on what seat you're sitting in, and I'll talk about that here in a second. Now, for the first part, the areas that I experienced the most pop of ejector was actually not the back row, so it was actually not row 12 on that, believe it or not. It was actually row 1 on the right side. I experienced really heavy, where in fact, I did not have a glass strap on my glasses, and I actually had to hold on to my glasses and actually take them off and just hold them on my lap because it was actually causing my glasses to fly off. So very interesting on how the front can be more intense than the back on that part of the coaster. So definitely, I love the front part, and then you're going to run into a series of stationary Raptors that are going to be placed throughout, and it's a lot of fun, and you have a running waterfall. I'll be honest, the first part has a lot of left turns, and has the dive loop and the Immelman, but I mean, you don't really remember much of it because it goes so fast. And then after that point, you're going to hit that second launch. It's going to blast you from 40 miles per hour to 70, up 155-foot top hat. And on the very back, so row 12, right side and left side, you're going to be out of your seat the whole time going down it. The front part, a little bit, but not as intense as the back. Now, believe it or not, row 8 also had a really good ride experience when I rode that twice. And that was more in the center, so that's as close to the center that I could get in the ride. And even that was a fun on-ride experience. Now, this is more of a nighttime ride than a daytime ride because you'll see a lot of the effects better at nighttime than you will during the day. And I believe it runs faster, or it feels like it runs faster at night than it does during the day. Anyways, once you hit the top hat, you're going to go down that drop, and you're going to experience some floater out of your seat. Maybe a little more ejector in row 12 because you're going to be out of your seat the whole time. And then you're going to hit that 0G stall, and it's going to hit that 0G stall. And then it's going to even it out and then make a turn to the right. And this is where you hit that right helix. Once you hit that right helix, you're going to go around, and you'll see this here in just a second. So that's the top hat. And I wouldn't worry about that trim brake on the top or anything like that. But yeah, You're going to hit that 0G stall, and then into the right helix. You're going to go around, and then you're going to kind of hit a type of RMC element. So you're going to get jolted to the left and right, and it's going to kind of give you some ejector. I experienced actually ejector every time I rode it in that part. So you'll see it right here as it goes down. And you're going to hit that 0G stall, and then it's going to go into this right helix here. And then the right helix right here, you'll see that jolt where it's going to jolt you to the left and then back to the right again. Then it's going to come back around on the helix, and you're going to hit like a little bit of airtime hill. Then you're going to hit that heartline roll or barrel roll, whatever you want to call it. I call it a heartline roll. Then you're going to hit another pop of airtime into the final brake run. Now, like I was stating before, this coaster offers a great experience from start to finish. I love the first part, but the second part I love better because the second part is more intense. And you get that nice 0G stall. You get that nice pop of ejector before hitting that heartline roll. And it's right over the lagoon. So when you hit that heartline roll, you're actually staring at the water for a second, which kind of scares some people, but you are hanging out of your seat. Don't worry, it's safe, but you're hanging out of your seat. That's the experience. And I think this coaster just offers everything. Like everything that I wanted in Maverick, this coaster delivered better and more intense. And I mean, the Intamin Blitz coasters are amazing as it is, but this coaster offers everything. Like Universal Studios knocked it out of the park with this one. But if you're riding this coaster, ask for row 1, sit on the right side if you're doing row 1, or ask for row 12. You will not be disappointed in that. But if they don't have those available, ask if you could sit in row 8, right side, and just sit in the right or left seat. It doesn't matter. But the right side, you're going to experience a little more intensity than the left side. That's just the way the coaster's actually, laid out, so it makes more sense that way. But I hope that you enjoyed this thorough review. I hope this helps you out next time you're at Universal Studios riding Velocicoaster. And with that being said, this is Chris signing off until next time. Thanks again for watching. And please subscribe for future videos that'll drop down for Midwest Coaster fans.